Sorry, I am as cool as a cucumber. You cannot shake me. The only thing that can shake me is the ripples when you sit down.
What the fuck?
You can't even say anything. That was a good one.
Where did that come from? I've had the week from hell.
Yeah, and now you have to deal with me.
Yeah.
I don't know what you expected.
Fucking hell.
You're
I'm going to kill myself.
I had
over
a
this
terrible
podcast."
week. You know what? Let me go hang out with Soheb.
Hello and welcome to Talk Shift. Now, usually this is a bit of a dangerous episode for us. There's no F1 next week. We have nothing to talk about. Thankfully, that is not the case. Big thank you, Lance Stroll. Big thank you, Max Verstappen. Soheb, how are you to begin with?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I mean, I haven't been hacked, so...
Yeah. For
Stress-free.
context, viewers, FP1 may well have undergone a bit of a cyber attack in the last week. We're hopefully okay now, and if you want the full story, that's out on the Patreon version, so thank you for the plug.
Yes.
Now, let's get to talking F1 stuff. It took us too long to talk about that last week. We're going to cram all the F1 stuff in, and then we've got all sorts to come, including more confessions, more fan art, and an erotic story about us two, which is going to... You are far more excited than I am on
Do you
that
want
one.
me to read that?
You can read that one out. I'm not reading that one out because it would get clipped. So.
We have a very different mentality on that.
We do. All of that to come. Let's start. To come is the wrong phrase to use. Let's
Not
know.
with me.
What?
Not with me.
Okay. Right. Let's start with Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
Okay. The move on George Russell.
He's just a bit of an idiot, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's just like, that is just a sim racing move.
It
Where
was.
he's just pissed off. I get it, because he shouldn't have given the position back.
Mhm.
I get why he's pissed. But he can't just crash into someone else. But they could have both just got a puncher and been out of the race. Just
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, or worse. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's that very same sense of that you think that's barging. No, this is what barging looks like. And
Yeah.
he just drives into the side of him. It's
He did to prove a
bonkers.
point.
Yeah, and he has now, of course, come out and said, "Well, actually, yeah, it might not have been the
And
best
for
idea in the
Verstappen
world."
to do that like usually, even when Verstappen drives Hamilton into Argentina and Brazil, he doesn't apologize.
Mm.
He apologized for that. That means something.
Yeah, I think we're finally at a stage now where he's maybe taken a bit of time to cool off and realised, oh, actually, that wasn't the smartest idea in the world, was it?
Have you seen people online who are very stupid? First of all, they are saying that this is the mentality of a champion, and they are playing like videos of Schumacher and Senna basically driving people off the road and being like, oh, "This is what you need to be for champion." What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I can just see the British bias comments already from that, but it's not the first time it's happened. And, you know, we have had these incredible drivers go through Formula One. Look at Senna, look at Schumacher, the two examples that you brought up. That being said, I think if you look back at their legacy, you look at, interestingly, it was Adelaide 94 when Schumacher drove Hill off the road.
Yeah,
Not Senna off the road. He was
no
bit,
retired.
A bit retired. Yes, let's go with that. But that's a good start. But I think it's more the case a few years later, which I think was 97, because it was Villeneuve's championship win, where again Schumacher tried anything and he tried to crash Villeneuve off in Jerez. That one in particular is seen as essentially a blotch on his career. I think
the worst one for me is when he just stopped in Monaco. Remember, he turned right, and then he just stops, and he tries to act like, oh, it was just an accident, you know, and no one believes him. And there's actually a point in that media pen where you see him and he's like, oh my God, actually no one believes me. And I think that is tarnishing his legacy, because Schumacher, I think, would without these, I think you can put a very, very good argument that he's one of the greatest of all time.
I think you still
Maybe the
can.
greatest. But it's really like, come on, man. I get the mentality of you need to do anything to win, but doing stuff like that is just so. Makes you look weak, to be honest.
I think going back to the initial comments that sort of started this all, it's the mark of a champion. Maybe you could argue that it is, but is that a mark that we particularly enjoy about those champions? Is it something that we say, oh yeah, it was great to see Schumacher drive Villeneuve off in Jerez, or it was great to see Senna wipe Prost out at Turn 1 in Suzuka in, was it 1990?
Yeah.
I don't think we do. And you look at Hamilton, and are there as many incidents like that?
I mean, he's not exactly had a completely clean reputation.
I was going to say, you've cut me off while they all start typing immediately away at all of them.
But I wouldn't consider him a dirty driver.
No. I mean, you could argue there is... I'm still 50-50 on the whole 2021 Silverstone collision, but there...
I would personally put that more on Hamilton. Me personally.
It's probably slightly more on Hamilton, but it's not clear cut for me. I think it's sort of 60-40 or 70-30 Hamilton Verstappen on that one.
It's not like Monza where it's just Verstappen just acts like he's not there and drives into the side of him.
Yeah, things will just goes through his head.
Yeah, or as I said before, driving him into Argentina.
Yes,
when he's in Brazil.
Just like, you will get out of my way.
Yeah.
I still think actually had in the 2021 World Championship Abu Dhabi final corner final lap. I've fucked this bit up, but we're just going to carry on. The final lap when Verstappen dive bombed Hamilton down into the hairpin. That was still from a long way back. And I think if Hamilton had taken the normal racing line and Verstappen T-bones him, that would be seen as Max's fault. And given there was already talk going into that weekend that if any of them tried to crash the other one out, he'd be disqualified. It's a thought I've always had ever since watching that race. Had Hamilton taken the racing line on that corner and let Max crash into him, it would have been seen as Max's fault.
And Hamilton would be an
8-time world champion.
Wow.
Now, again, that's not the driver that Lewis is. Yeah,
Maybe he would have retired.
I don't think he would have retired at that point, but I think, maybe he would have retired by now.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have seen the ground effect regulation and said, yeah, fuck this, I'm good. But
I don't like the argument of, oh, this is the mentality of a champion. I think what he did in the last race was the mentality of a child, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that. That's good. How long have you been thinking that one up?
That's just on the spot, genuinely.
Well done. That's much better than your turning into a woman then fucking yourself thing from last week. So
mean, I'm sure our engagement statistics would not agree with that.
I've not looked at them. I've been too busy dealing with a cyber attack. So,
but I wouldn't put any of those three drivers as the greatest of all time. I think Verstappen is getting there, to be honest.
He's up there.
Verstappen, there's a good argument. For me, I think Alonso is definitely in that argument because he is just you made that face, but he's just driven so well year in, year out, every year. There's never been a driver like that that had this performance for this long.
Yeah, it's a different. I don't know. It's a different side of things because the guy has 32 wins compared to, when we're talking the greatest of all time, we're talking much more than that. Now, granted,
he's not been in cars.
Yeah, a lot of his cars, but he's also made those career decisions. And I think had he made the right career decisions, maybe he would be in that argument, but we don't know. We can't know.
At the time, the decisions seemed like they were the right choice because when he left Ferrari were definitely going in a downward trajectory.
Yeah.
McLaren, no one could have predicted how badly McLaren Honda could have been. No one could have predicted that.
But you can say the exact same thing about all of my videos. You could say at the on the eve of the 2024 season, I predicted, Daniel Ricciardo is getting in that Red Bull seat by mid-season. That's going to happen, isn't it? Great. You can predict at the start of this season, Liam Lawson might be finally the guy that takes it to Max Verstappen. They've ended up going really well as well. They've aged like milk.
No,
a bit like a lot of Alonso's career decisions, and as a result, both of us get ridiculed for that.
No, I think you're just delusional.
Okay. Hindsight's a beautiful thing, but sure.
No, the difference is people call you delusional at the time, and then they rewatch the video, and then you're like, well, you will still be. We called you delusional then, and you're delusional now.
Yeah. Hey ho, it gets the views in there, doesn't it? So what can you do? Welcome to F1 YouTube 101. But on the subject of delusional, should we talk about Aston Martin and Lance Stroll? Because
it's spicy.
Wow.
So there's a bit of a debate of to what actually happened. Whether so, for the viewers that don't know, he obviously didn't attend Sunday, and the reason they gave was that the wrist injury, which he got just before the 2023 season.
Yeah, cycling accident.
It came back and he was suffering from it, so he decided not to race. The BBC put out an article saying there were strong rumors that that did not happen, and he smashed the table and was swearing at team members, and that's how he got his injury, by smashing the table or smashing whatever he did with his hand, and that reshook his injury. So it's pretty spicy, and from what I understand, that's what the paddock believes. Whether that's the truth or not, that's what people in the paddock believe.
I think even engineers in Stroll's garage have now come out and said that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
But again,
that's what they would say.
Aston employees have been known for lying before. You've had both Adrian Newey now and Fernando Alonso have both come out and said Lance Stroll's a really good driver.
Yes.
So I think it's just more in their contract that you've got to defend Lord Stroll at all costs.
I mean, he is the boss's son.
Yeah.
So you can't, like, if you don't, you're losing your job. I would do the same thing.
Can you imagine the engineer came and said, yeah, actually, you're completely right. Next post. So I received this P45 in the mail the other day.
Yeah, legit. So, I mean, Stroll isn't a particularly liked driver.
No.
So that might be why the rumours started in the first place, if they're not true. But you did see 2 years ago when he just pushed his engineer, or was it last year?
So the thing, it's not the first time he's at least been reported to being aggressive in the paddock. And the first time it was caught on camera, plain and simple, him shoving his trainer, it was Qatar 23. Yeah, clear as day. And he had to apologise for it. There was a whole FIA investigation as well. And he was given a formal warning, I think, by the FIA on that. So that's what it doesn't help him at the end of the day. It really doesn't help him. So, you see, this is the thing. There's been a lot of discussion about that. We're not the first podcast, I'm sure, to talk about that. Let's instead move to what I think is more interesting. Who takes his seat?
Because both of his realistic replacements are going to, well, they were supposed to be at
Le Mans. So this is, of course, with the Canadian Grand Prix. There's no confirmation yet of whether Stroll will be able to race at that event. Drogovic and Van Dorn are the two Aston reserves.
And Drogovic did say that if the seat was open, he would do it instead of Le Mans.
Yeah.
Because I think Le Mans, Drogovic is going to be at Le Mans again. Come on, he's going to be. He's going to be at Le Mans again. F1. This may well be his only shot. He's been so unlucky because basically every other reserve driver has just got their chance from drivers being sick or Kevin Magnussen getting a ban or just some reason like that. And Drogovic has just been sitting there for so long. And the problem, the annoying thing is, I think Drogovic is actually a really, really good driver.
I think he's the only F2 champion who hasn't got an F1 drive yet. Because even Nick De Vries took him a year or two, got it for admittedly not very long, but he still got it.
Yeah, Mick Schumacher even got it.
Got it. Wow. Oh, there's some thoughts in there. That's a future episode away, I think. But yeah, I feel for Drogovic.
I do feel for Drogovic.
The other thing I will say that he's come across in the paddock as a bit of an arsehole at times. So that's where my sympathy fades a little bit, where I'm kind of impartial over whether he gets that or not.
If you talk purely performance-wise, Aston Martin have really liked him every time he's done a practice session.
Yeah.
And they do seem to like his mentality. So I would like to see him get a shot, even if it's just for one race. I would like it.
Yeah. There are two more names I want to throw into the hat, though. The first one is a realistic one. The second one is just funny. But the first one is Valtteri
Valtteri
Bottas.
Bottas.
Yep, you knew where I was going.
Obviously.
So Valtteri is, of course, Mercedes reserve driver.
Yep.
But
He's
because
also for Williams
Yeah,
and McLaren.
because it's the engine deal.
Yeah.
So any team that is powered by Mercedes engines can jump into Mercedes reserve pool, which gives them access to Bottas, Vesti. It would have been Mick Schumacher, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously, Vesti's not had a Formula One shot before. Likely won't get to Formula One. Will sit and die in WEC for eternity. But
Yep.
Bottas, I think, could be a really interesting call. I said in my video the other day, he has experience driving shit green cars already.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and it's great. I can reuse these jokes. I know you don't watch my videos. So,
Yep.
yeah, I just think that's the smartest move.
It's not very exciting.
It's not exciting, but also I think, compared to putting a rookie in the car around what is essentially a street circuit with Montreal, I think an experienced pair of hands is a safer bet. But it depends how serious Aston are about evaluating Drogovic for the future, because I don't really see him going there long term as a main race driver.
But I don't see the point, because Aston Martin aren't fighting for anything this year anyway.
No,
they're not fighting for anything at all. So why would they put Bottas in? Because that doesn't prove anything. And with Drogovic, at least you can prove something. You can prove how good Alonso is, if the gap to Stroll is real. Or
if the gap to Stroll is real. I think we know it's real. I see your point, but equally, it's a very tight midfield. And even though you have that money coming in from Big Daddy Stroll, you still want to get up as far as you can on that constructors table. And Aston are currently, where are they? Are they last?
I think they're P9.
Because obviously Sauber took a lot of points out of them.
Yeah, but with Hulkenberg's unbelievable performance.
We should touch on that. Yeah, that was incredible.
That's unbelievable.
Absolutely incredible. At the moment, no, Alpine are slower, of course they are. But yeah, 9th.
Is it P9? Yeah.
P9. Interestingly, that does bring me to the final one I want to throw into the hat. And it's not one that I think will ever happen, but my comment section have been going off about it. Chuck Jack Doohan in the car.
I mean,
Doohan versus Colapinto.
I don't know.
Turn 1, Doohan just says, you know what, actually, I'm not going to close my DRS on purpose this time, straight into the back of the Argentinian.
I don't know if you saw Flavio Briatore's comments recently.
Oh, which ones? He sort of seesaws back and forth these days.
But he said with Colapinto, this is definitely what we didn't want to see.
Wow, who could have seen that one coming? It's almost like I've been preaching this from the start. Admittedly, I have kind of gone back and forth a couple of times, but
yeah, Jack Doohan would be really funny. I can't lie.
Jack Doohan would be funny, and I think that'd be a great story to get him back in. Won't happen though,
No.
So it is what it is.
I think the most realistic option is Stroll gets forced by his dad to get back in the car. Genuinely, I think that's the most realistic option.
Lawrence drives himself. There will be a Stroll on the timing sheets. There has to be.
This is the Stroll Formula One team.
There's one last thing I do want to bring up actually with this, and I'm not sure how recent this is. I have a feeling it was this week, but I didn't research that far into it. I think Red Bull have taken the piss out of this situation in the best possible way, right? So Stroll, of course, got his injury in 2023 through a cycling incident, yeah?
Yep.
Red Bull have done a show run, or at least they were publishing a show run on their social media this week. Whether it was from this week, I don't know. But here are the images from the show run. I'm genuinely not making these up. Take a look at that car. He hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, it's a bike on They definitely did that on purpose. 100%.
I thought that was AI generated initially. That is apparently... I don't know why there's a bike on it. I don't know what Red Bull were thinking.
Why is there a bike on it?
I don't know. I think they safely secured it to the car, so that way no one can fall off it. But yeah,
what they need is a naked Valtteri Bottas on that.
Just tick off every team as we go.
Yeah.
They can put Jack Doohan's P45 on the front wing. Bloody hell. So yeah, that's all I had to add on that one. But I just thought I thought that's going into talk shift. That's got to go into talk shift, right?
What do you think Stroll's future? How long do you reckon Stroll will be in the sport? Because Stroll does look very fed up, to be honest. Because even when he's doing well, he just doesn't really care. It looks like.
Yeah, and this is the problem, isn't it? Like, I just don't know. he obviously, you'd think he'd want to be there. Like,
It's Formula One.
it's Formula One. But
It
he's
doesn't
just
seem like it.
years and years of just being constantly ridiculed and being nowhere. I think if he went to WEC, he could genuinely be very
That's
good.
what everyone wants, right? Because Aston Martin do have their WEC team, and
Yeah.
this is the first year they're going to be at Le Mans.
I think it's a winner for everybody apart from Lance Stroll if he still wants to do Formula One.
I think it's not a win for Lawrence Stroll because
Isn't it?
Lawrence, he wants the Stroll name to be represented.
But right now it's being represented by an idiot.
Yeah, it's not doing the name any good.
No.
I think both of them aren't really doing the name any good, to be honest. I think
No.
I don't know. I could see him leaving at the end of next year if he's so fed up.
I don't know. I feel like we say this every year and it
We
never
do
happens.
say,
So
we do say it every year, but he can't last forever, realistically, right? He's also a very young driver. For how many years he's been in? He's only like 24, 25?
he came up quite quick. He did the Max Verstappen approach of skipping it wasn't called F2 then, but the F2 equivalent
Yeah,
when he joined in 17? 17? Yeah, 17.
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a weird one. It's a weird one. I don't think he will leave. I think the best option for everybody is to chuck him in the hypercar program.
Yeah,
because I think
that's what everyone
I
wants.
think Stroll would get results.
I think he
I
would.
think Aston would look a lot better with two drivers where one is quite clearly not there, or quite clearly just there to be a pay driver.
WEC would get a lot more views.
Yeah. I think people, and if he does something wrong in WEC, then oh
dear,
fun times. But yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
But I think
he
he'll be around till the end of time at the rate we're looking.
I think he needs to enjoy driving. I think that's the biggest problem. He doesn't enjoy driving right now. Oh yes.
Yeah, we've covered all the F1 stuff now, which means, of course, it is time to look at more fan art. More fan art has come through.
I just want to say what I do appreciate about last week's fan art is it was actual photoshops and stuff like that. It wasn't AI slot bullshit.
No, there's no AI slot bullshit in this one either. Well, maybe not till the end, but the Discord have been talking actually, and they've been thinking, can we get the fan art displayed somehow? I'm not sure how I want to do it, but have it in the background of the shot, because there are some really good ones this week.
Right in the middle?
I don't know how it would look if we put it up here, but I don't know. If you have some ideas, do put them down in the comments below, because yeah, it would be great to have some audience participation in the FP1 Will set and in the FP1 Will studio. That would be cool. Well, the Talk Shift studio. I should let you in on that. Fan art for this week. I cannot remember the order that I've put this in. Okay. So this is as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. We're starting off with this one.
Oh,
yeah.
Why am I? Why? Okay.
So we've got obviously Osama bin Laden is the big one that stands out. Then you,
someone slightly worse,
slightly. Then Christian Horner.
Yep.
Poor Christian being put in. Poor you and Christian being put in with these people. Then obviously Jeffrey Epstein, who you couldn't identify last week. And is that Diddy on the far left?
I think that's Diddy.
Yep. And then I'm the blonde girl about to get absolutely gangbang from every angle. That's actually just summing up my week.
So what's the?
That's the hackers trying to get in, and that's me.
Yeah. So that I was thinking, what's the artistic representation then? That's it, really.
Yeah, and that was obviously before all this whole cyber attack thing came in.
Is that this is actually real, because I did collaborate with Diddy and Epstein and
I don't remember this. Was I drugged then? Was that how did that work?
Yeah, I mean we have a contact, you know.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, because we're going to be here forever if we count at this rate. Yep. The next one, that's me with apparently me with Daniel
so
Ricciardo.
Much fatter.
What an image. Along with the caption, Fatty is supposed to be Will. I don't know what the fuck I was doing asking ChatGPT to do this, since it doesn't really look like Will.
It
That's
doesn't
not
look
a sentence,
anything
mate.
like you.
It doesn't look... Thank you. I'm glad. I'm very glad. I think it's the lack of
Maybe it's an AI-generated sentence as well.
From like ChatGPT 0.1. Yeah. It's done Daniel Ricciardo pretty good, but no, me, it's yeah.
Yeah.
I can't quite work out what that looks like. I can't quite place it, but
it's kind of like you.
I look like Humpty Dumpty. I look like Humpty Dumpty. That's what it looks like.
I was gonna say it looks like you and James Corden mixed together.
Oh my god. Right, well, we're moving on from that. The next one, oh, there we go. FP1 Will pre-weight loss.
I have seen.
And I'm Gorlock. Let's go.
Gorlock the Destroyer. You know, if men don't deserve her. You know, she.
Moving on. There's it's just me
Oh,
pregnant
you're
again.
pregnant?
I think there were a few pregnant ones. So yeah, now you're pregnant as
Why
well.
am I pregnant?
Well, considering what you were talking about last week, maybe that's why.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the caption: a pregnant Soheb as well, because why not?
Why does everyone use the same image of me?
They're clearly, the effort that's gone into these isn't particularly great. There's 2 images at max they've used of me if it's not been put into AI.
Yeah.
That one is from when we went to the F1 movie event.
Yep.
Yours has just been ripped from one of the podcast episodes where you look just slightly bemused, I think, on that one. Are there any more? Oh, yeah, that's me as a furry.
Okay.
Again, same image. So that's good. Thank you for that. Pregnant fat furry. Okay. They've had to go into extra detail.
It does have your body shape too.
And on the subject of body shape.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that actually just sums up Talk Shift.
So do you think that's what we're going to look like in our retirement home?
Yeah.
We're gonna be like
when we're
that.
still doing like Talk Shift episode 1496.
Yeah, playing the Switch.
Yeah. Is there a Switch? Where's the Switch in that?
No, that's what we're going to be doing in our
Oh,
retirement.
we're just playing a Switch.
You know how people in retirement homes now, they play bingo and do stuff like that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm going to be playing like Bloodborne 15 or something
Or Mario Kart. It'd be great.
Bloodborne Kart, yeah.
Yeah. There we go. All sort of Mario Kart 500 will be on it. Great.
Let's do it.
Okay, right. There's the other one that came through. I did say there was some AI generated content of you coming up.
So
or maybe it's not AI generated, unless you can explain where you were in that image. I know you went on holiday for a week, but bloody hell.
Why do people think I'm a terrorist? Is it just got my skin color?
Probably is.
And my viewpoints.
Yeah.
And
you did admit to being part of the Taliban last week.
Oh yeah,
though.
I did.
So that might have had a slight weighing in on it.
So if any employers are looking at this is a previous life.
When did that life end? 2001?
We've moved on from this. You know, we live. Everyone makes mistakes. We live and we learn.
Yeah. Okay. Oh god, there have been some new nicknames as well. I think that's what's coming next. Again, I've made these PowerPoint slides days ago, so I've already forgotten. With obviously, well, we've had me as a furry, we've had me pregnant, and we've had me last week just based on top of lots of paedophiles. Yep. So some of the names that we've now got, it's not come through on here. Okay, apparently I didn't put it in. I'm going to try and find them now because this is going really well. Clearly, I just haven't. Yeah, all right. So far we have F pregnant one Will.
Oh,
furry P1 Will.
Why are you a furry?
I don't know. That was the one from a few. I don't know. They just made me a furry. And then FP 1,000 kilograms Will.
I like it.
Yeah, good.
We need some nicknames from me as well, viewers. Come on, think of some nicknames for me. Some interesting and quirky nicknames.
And we'll look at those next week. That's great. That's a brilliant idea. Right.
And remember to like and subscribe.
Yes. Shall we get to the erotic fiction?
Oh,
because we did. That was, well, I say we. You asked for erotic fiction last week.
I did.
And ask and you will not be
any future employers. I am not getting the job.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit.
It's like I'm just creating blackmail material for myself.
So I've just gone to log into my Discord and that's just been wiped out by the hackers as well. Fuck! Give me a second. I'm back in the Discord. I found it and I'm going to let you read it out. And we have read this beforehand.
This is long.
We have read it beforehand.
I'm not.
Have you not read it?
No.
Okay. You can have fun with this then. Oh.
Okay, so the intro, not one of my proudest pieces of literature at FP1 Will.
Oh.
The bedroom door slammed, wood shuttering in the fire-lit gloom. Soheb stood, shirtless, muscles carved like a god. Oh, thank you, viewers.
Like a god. Sorry, can I stop you there? Like a god. Like what god?
Have you seen Thor in that one? Not the
fat Thor.
Yeah, no, the fat Thor in God of War.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I was gonna say because I've been told I have the muscles of a god as well, but then they just went and said it was Buddha. So anyway, I'll let you carry on.
Anyway, okay. Muscles carved like a god. His long Taliban-esque beard resembling the late Osama bin Laden's, glinting with dark promise. His trousers clung low, the growing, frosted tip of his cock teasing through the fabric. Will's Discord moderation frame quivered.
Can you get it out, mate?
Yeah, like what's going to happen later in this point?
Shut up. Just read it so we can move on, all right? You asked for this. Just read it and we can move on.
Breath hitching. What the fuck is that glow? Magic. Soheb purred, smirking fingers grazing his waistband. I'd break you, piggy. Will ripped off his shirt, heat surging. It's working. Knees now, Soheb growled. Will dropped, wood biting his knees, eyes locked on the glowing tip. Soheb gripped his jaw, beard scraping Will's lips. You're starving. I've been hard for days, Will grasped. Your beard, that growing cock. You own me. Soheb shoved him back, pinning him, beard dragging to Will's plush stomach.
Plush?
Finding a chocolate cake crumb.
How have they got that in there? That's creative, I'll give them that. That's the most creative fat joke I think we've had on here.
Always such a fatty. You mother.
God's sake.
Licking it off with torturous precision. Will moaned, hips jerking. Beg, Soheb commanded, freeing his glowing cock, brushing Will's thigh. I'm gonna fuck you raw. Please, Soheb, fuck me with that frosted tip till I can't think. Soheb's eyes darkened. I'm going to destroy you.
Right, can I genuinely say, and I mean this honestly, I genuinely feel like I want to throw up. No, there's no more. That's it.
So, Coco, I very much appreciated Coco. Yes, so that you've done a very good job there.
Yeah.
And I think you should do this once a week.
No. We're never doing this again. There's one last thing we need to cover, and that is, of course,
what random Asian does Soheb look like?
have you seen someone as well who's made an entire compilation video of these already?
Yeah, I've seen this.
We're actually famous. That's it. The random Asian of the week is a bit of a one out of left field. Have you seen the latest Domino's advert?
No.
The one in the bathtub. Well, apparently you look like the random guy from the Domino's bathtub advert. There you are.
I do see it, to be honest.
You can sort of see it. Yeah. And that's actually me behind you.
I mean, do you think you would get in my bathtub?
No, actually,
mean,
having listened to you read that out.
Do you remember we went to Amsterdam and in our hotel we had that shower room?
Right, okay.
And it had,
I don't know where this is going.
It had the hole.
So, okay, for
perfectly
context, right? We went to watch the Dutch Grand Prix in 2023, and one of the mistakes we should not declare this. This is dangerous. One of the mistakes, it was a lovely hotel, actually, a lovely little
Really
hotel, but they made a mistake in that rather than get 2 single beds, they gave us a double bed. They thought we were a couple, basically.
And that I thought isn't too bad, to be honest.
Yeah, so that is all right. 2025, perfectly acceptable nowadays, not a problem. Anyway, the way this room works, nice little room, your standard things in a room, you got your chest of drawers and all this, and they had an ensuite. And the ensuite was separated by these like frosted glass doors, right? And the frosted glass doors didn't have a handle. Instead, they had these little circular cutouts that you could obviously see through and you poke your fingers through, or I imagine it was Amsterdam, so maybe other things through as well. Only that these holes were a really awkward height. So they were relatively revealing. So we could not look in the direction of.
I mean,
the
I did.
ensuite. Yeah, I know you did. I would not look in the direction of the ensuite when you were in there. I didn't want to see that. So, yeah.
I did want to see it.
Okay. Right. Anything to add?
No, I think your cock is pink. And...
Right. We're going to end it there. We're going to end it there. Right. Lovely. Thank you for watching Talk Shift. There is a lot more on the Patreon version
sure
this
there
week.
is.
There really is a lot more. There has, of course, been, we've kind of glossed over it. I've not actually made an official announcement about it yet. But yeah, we were hit by a big hack attempt earlier in the week. And we've talked through all that and the inner workings of that down in the Patreon version, which you can get through being a member here on the YouTube channel. You can join the FP1 Will Patreon and join the TalkShift Pension Fund. That's what it's called. It is £1 a month. That is an absolute bargain for all of the content that you get on there. There is an extra footage reel or outtakes for every episode of TalkShift. It also, of course, gets him meal deals, which he really needs at the moment. Look at him. He's borderline anorexic. He needs some food in him. So yeah, you've got to give him some more meal deals. So head over to the Patreon. You will not be disappointed. There's a lot of extra content.
There's
on
a
there.
lot of nonsense.
There's a lot of nonsense. There's also me trying to start this episode and him being fucking annoying.
Hey, you can't put that all on me. Okay, that's not all on me.
Every time I would try to hit the intro, you just go, or you make a noise.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you doing that Chat GPT stuff was my fault. Yeah?
I did also do some Chat GPT stuff where I turned him into a sex doll. All of that is on the Patreon version if you want to go and check it out.
Worth watching.
For those that don't want to do that and are about to fuck off, that is fine. Thank you very much for watching. Do leave the channel a like and subscribe while you're at it. We are almost at 5,000 subscribers. We're getting there. Very slowly, admittedly, but we are getting there. And a big thank you, actually. We've snagged the Discord off a lot today. The Discord support has been pretty mental. And
we've completely ran out of content, so Discord is fueling us by now.
We've already turned it into one of those podcasts which is just building off our viewers, essentially. That's all we're doing. We're scraping off our viewers and that is it. But hey ho, I hope you've enjoyed nonetheless. Drop us a like, drop us a subscribe, and yeah, have a good one, everybody.